So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. I don't know how long this is going to be, but it seems like it might just end up being sort of long. There was a statement, "Justice is served at long last." I suppose this person is in full of pain and regret for all they did. But it is not just the regret that they are caught, it is also the regret of realizing that they missed out on the best thing that they could have ever got. Especially when that very thing was the thing that was going to save them from the miserable life that they had indulged themselves in. It was just a chain of events and factors and abuses that had been going on for years that they failed to understand how they could get away from that very lifestyle they had created out of vengeance for someone else who made them end up having no mercy in their hearts. And they oversaturated their hearts with all the bad, hideous, filthy things they got involved in. They didn't know how to forgive themselves, neither knew how they could get forgiveness, and they thought God would not forgive them at all. In actual fact, they knew to the bottom of their heart that they did not deserve to be forgiven because they had done one too many worse things that no one could ever imagine. Probably worse than the Epstein case, the darkest events ever. They did cry out for help once, but no one came. So they thought, to hell with it all, and they also mercilessly performed all they did, making sure no help was to come to all that they did and to their victims. Many ended up alone after they were victimized. They were a victim too, and they made others victim too. Once they were innocent, and later they were broken into thousands of pieces just by those who were supposed to love them. Abused and used, and then thrown to the side after the abusers were done with them. That is all they saw in their lives, and that was all that they learned. How can anyone blame them? Once upon a time, their faces were full of light and sparked life, but now no signs of life, and all looking raggedly ashes-like. All the fire burnt them to ashes and left lifeless bodies on them. Why is it always too late when we realize that things have happened until when it is all done for good? Isn't there a magic stick that could foretell what was going to happen before it did? It did. I wish there was something like that. Then maybe the abuser could be stopped from being an abuser, and the victim to be protected from such filthy experiences. Normally there are signs, but people, either out of fear or ego, they ignore. Or when they even point out the signs, they are not believed. And this could happen to everyone. It could happen to you. It could happen to me. It could happen to him, to her, to everyone. Yes, we empathize with this person, but is it too late? For the one in the way of God, unless you are dead, there is always hope, and that is what God does. He gives even the worst person a chance, even when in deathbed, which I hope no one reaches there. No one has to be in such a position before repenting and turning back to God. It's a hard situation. Always try to repent and turn back to God before your time is up. And then they end up being all alone, like what Justin Bieber sang. He said, what if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you'd know me, 'cause I've had everything, but no one's listening. And that's just lonely. I'm so lonely. And now they feel stuck in a loophole they created for themselves. They are stuck. They are caught and now have nowhere to hide, neither anything to hide. They are at their end point and are also scared of what is to come. Not knowing exactly how justice was going to be served. And they are also anxious and feeling desperate, wanting to do something to get back their power. Only that God has flushed out all that they could have used and are left with almost nothing. What they thought they had before was not helping them out in the dilemma they were in. And they're just sitting in fear, waiting for the final judgment to be made on themselves. Actually, they already judged themselves. Even before anyone has judged them, they already judged themselves. Way back to their childhood, they already judged themselves. They know, or rather see, what they deserve, and things look dark for them. They already accepted the dark. Like you're in a box and you can't get out and it's dark. You're left there all alone. It is sort of like spiritual prison. They imprisoned themselves even before the world imprisoned them for what they had done. I mean, is it all that worth it? Is it? They had been warned so many times. They did not take the heed. They did not take heed. They thought the devil was more powerful than God, because that is what they were made to believe since they were kids. That evil always triumphs. Yes, it does, but it never conquers. It never conquers. Period. Let us be mindful of what we do. What goes round always comes round. And for those who have been under any kind of tyranny or abuse, know that justice is served and there is no going back. Everything is being paid for the pains you underwent, and the same for that person too. Their abusers have been served justice as well. This is a very sad, deep feeling that could burn anyone to ashes, and no one can do anything about it. It's because it's just like standing on edge of a cliff and there's a long way down. Even if you feel pity for such a situation, it's a very hard place to be, especially when someone had been a victim before and then they make other innocent people victims. This is such a very sad situation, and I hope this helps someone to know that once upon a time, those who made you feel like you were nothing, know that they are the ones facing the same torture they did to you. The tables have turned and they are losing everything they used against you. They are losing everything. And some of them might even lose their minds. These are people who really did the worst to you. And God is taking revenge over all of them right now. And I'm guided to stop here right now because I'm starting to get really emotional about this. It's a very strange energy. You feel like pitying it. You feel like, I don't know. I have no words for this. So till next time, stay well blessed. Collective, keep loving yourselves in the right way of God, because that is the only way to having peace in this world. If you don't love yourself, that's where conflict and chaos start to happen. So be safe, much love, and God bless.